So back in February, I accepted my offer to the Disney College program, so I figured I would make a video to tell you guys the timeline it took me from submitting my application to accepting my offer. So I'm going to be doing the fall 2026 program, which for me will start in August. So I thought I'd share with you guys just how I went about the application process and give you some timestamps of how long everything took, so that way if you're planning on applying, you have a little bit more of an idea than I did on how long everything takes. So this video is going to be going over my experience with the application. It's not the same for everyone, but hopefully this will help you just ease your nerves a little bit. So first things first, I signed up for notifications months in advance on the Disney Career website. This allowed me to be able to submit my application the very day applications opened, since I got an email saying apply now in my inbox, and I pressed the link as soon as I saw it. The fall 2026 applications opened January 20th, 2026, and I'd say it took me about 30 minutes. It didn't take me too long to fill it out online because I had my resume freshly revamped a few weeks prior, knowing that applications were going to open soon. Doing that prep work a few weeks early definitely took some stress and time out of the actual application process for me. One thing I saw as advice online was to talk about the 5 keys in your application. So if you don't know what the 5 keys are, they're sort of like the guidelines and morals that Disney uses as a company. So the 5 keys are safety, courtesy, inclusion, show, and efficiency. So while filling out my work experience on the application, I made sure to base my descriptions of the jobs I had around those 5 words. For example, I was a soccer and a lacrosse coach when I was in high school and college, and I know those jobs don't directly connect to the Disney company, but I used it as a chance to include those 5 keys into my role descriptions. So I talked about how I made everyone feel included during practice, and I mentioned how it was my responsibility to keep players healthy and safe on and off the field. So right there in the job description of lacrosse and soccer coach, I used 2 of the 5 keys. After I submitted my application, I was able to view it immediately on the application portal. And on the portal, I had the option to upload any extra documents that I saw fit. You don't have to do that, but I did because I figured it couldn't hurt my chances of getting accepted. It could only help. So I decided to upload my actual resume and a cover letter. If you are going to upload anything, make sure the documents you share are up to date. And if you choose to upload a resume, just make sure it's no more than 1 page, has the same formatting throughout the entire page, and most importantly, has your name and contact information on it. Those are all things they'll ask for in your application itself, but it looks professional to have those in your resume. So through the application portal, you can keep checking back to see the status of your application, to see if they've reviewed it or anything. So I checked back with the portal just about every other day to keep up to date on what they were doing with my application. I also checked my email every single day, at least once a day, because I knew I'd get email updates as well. So on January 28th, I was sent an email asking me to schedule a phone interview. So from my phone where I saw the email, I logged into the portal and I used the link they emailed me to secure a time on the calendar that worked. I chose February 11th because it was the closest available day that worked for me. They had sooner options, I just couldn't do them. And I did hear that the time slots for phone interviews fill up very quickly, so you're going to want to schedule it as soon as you can. In your email inviting you to your interview, you will read that you only have 5 days to schedule it on the calendar. Otherwise, they cancel your application and move on to the next person on their list, which is why it's important to check your email every single day. So February 11th was the closest date that I was available to do the interview, so that's what I picked, which meant that I had just about 2 weeks to prepare for the phone interview. In the email to schedule the phone call, I read that it is best to leave yourself about an hour window for the interview. Online, I was reading that people were saying each call averages about 15 to 20 minutes, but you never know if the person calling you is running early or late, so it's just best to leave about a 1-hour window. So I read and watched as much advice as I could before my interview, just so I could be as prepared as possible. And everything I read was posted by people who had done the program in the past, which gave me hope that it would work for me too. To prep for my interview, I wrote down some talking points in my journal of things I knew I wanted to mention over the phone. So some things I knew I wanted to mention were about certain jobs I had in the past, certain things I wanted to point out about my resume. Even though I know I mentioned these things in the application online, I just wanted to point them out extra, hoping that it would help gear me towards a role I really wanted instead of just any role. So I made sure to talk about things that I really was passionate about, like the fact that I was a photographer for a marketing firm for 4 years. So based on everything I read online and based on my own experience too, this is the best advice I can give you if you get to the phone interview part of your application. Just be yourself, be confident, be excited about what you have to say, and sound friendly over the phone. It is not a video call, which means they will not see your body language, they will not see your mannerisms while speaking, they will only hear the tone in your voice. So how you present yourself vocally is going to be very important on how they receive your energy, your vibe, your overall experience over the phone. And if you were given the space to ask any questions at the end of your interview, always ask something. It is really important that you sound interested in the company you are being interviewed for. Just show that you care, even if it's just with one question. For example, I asked my interviewer where she started with the company versus where she is now and how long she's been there. And I thought this was a great way to transition the interview into more of a casual conversation instead of just asking questions. And it turned out to be a really great chat at the end of the call, and it helped ease my nerves when ending the phone call as well. After the interview, I kept checking my email and my portal every day for updates, because if you are accepted, you will only have 7 days to confirm your DCP offer before they cancel it and move on to the next applicant. So please, please, please check your email every day. Just about a week after my interview, I got my acceptance email. I saw the notification on my phone about an hour after it got to me, and that same day, I logged into the portal and accepted my offer. In order to fully accept your program offer, you need to fill out a few forms and pay a deposit. You have a few days to complete these steps before they move on to the next applicant, but I still recommend getting them done as soon as possible, just so there's no chance you'll forget to do it. When you accept your offer, you'll get some additional information in your email, and you'll be sent a few links to create Disney accounts that you'll need for work and housing. So it's officially been 3 months since I got accepted, and since then I've gotten a few more emails about picking my start and end dates for the program. Those arrival and departure dates fill up really fast, so you're going to want to pick those move-in dates as soon as you can. So more information is supposed to be emailed to me about 10 weeks before my program starts, so I've got a little time before then. Which means for right now, I'm just trying to meet people online who are doing the same program as me, get to know some people before I officially move to Orlando. But I am planning on making content before and during my program, so if that's something you think you might want to watch, subscribe to my channel and I'll keep you in the loop. I hope this video is helpful for anyone who's even considering applying. Please remember that everyone's application experience is different. This is just my personal experience, so don't panic if yours isn't exactly the same time frame as mine. What's meant to be will be, so just trust yourself and trust that the right things will come your way. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me because I'm happy to answer. Thanks for watching, and I hope I'll see you soon.